Hello everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. I'm here to share my foundation pages for 2024. All the amazing ideas I have gotten inspired by all of the community, and I'm just excited to go. This is like jam-packed. I'm hoping it doesn't get too full, but you never know what's gonna happen. So I am using the white album with the gold foiled stars. I think it was last year's album, an option for last year. If not, it was the year before. But in my shelf of where my albums get lined up, I feel like this is going to be the right choice for me. My foundation page, these are all foundation pages. My title page is done. So I used a heart from the main kit, and then some ribbon that I just looped around individually and then stitched so that it had some kind of just something interest there. It's a pop of red. I used one of the die cuts from the main kit and glued it, and then this pattern paper was in my stash from last year or the year before as well. And then I used the big December over here because it's not going to fit. It would fit if I laid it you know, horizontally, vertically, whatever. If I laid it vertically, it would fit on the side, but I decided that's gonna be good. I haven't actually glued it down. I was almost wondering if I should turn it into a pocket, so it's just there with some washi tape. And then it's gonna flip open, and it's got one of the cards from a couple of years ago now, right? That used to slide into the felt pockets that were available. I made my own pocket with some transparency. I did use one of the transparency words from the main kit that says this year. And then this is just a cute little ornament tag, like gift tag that I bought it at my local Marshalls, and I loved the colors to it. So I'm gonna cover it with a family photo, and I'll have some journaling. Not journaling, but just like our names and ages, because I feel like that's going to be good enough for this year. My day one is going to be a flip up. So I used one of the frames. I think the frames are from the main kit too. And then I have an old Alpha set that I just picked some pattern paper from my stash to cut out the number one, the word one, and then I've stitched it onto a transparency so it can be outside the page protector if I decide I need another flip. I don't know. I haven't quite decided what's going to happen, but I've got that available to me. And then I used one of the 4x6 cards, and I did turn this one into a flip with another one of the 4x6 cards that's going to have a photo in there. I did use fussy cut out around the tree. That was from a 10x8 from one of the pattern papers from this year, and then some awesome trees that I had in my stash from something else. Let's see. I think this is going to be day two. I think number 1 and number 18 may be the only ones I actually have numbered. Everything else is very flexible to go wherever I decide I want it to go. But I made a house, and I love this. So it is going to slide out. The roof is going to slide out. It's a pocket, and I'm going to have on one side, it's going to attach with all these cute little photos. I think I do photos. And then the other side, I have a currently around the house for journaling, or these can be photos, that can be journaling. I don't know. I haven't quite decided how it's going to be, but I love how that turned out. And then I also kept this card. I liked how the pink and the green are both that pastel color, so I like the way that looked. And then we'll just see what story I come up with for around the house that I want to journal. And it's gonna go in there. I do think I want to use one of the big felt numbers, so I'm just gonna randomly grab one that I have. I know it's overpowering, but I kind of like that. I realize I'm covering up the door a lot, but I figured if I did one of the, like I did do the 1, the 2 is also quite usable. I think that was the one I did for the example, but I like the way it looks. So I do think I'm going to use one of the felts for that. And then this is just in the day 3 spot for now, but I don't know if it's going to stay there. We will see. I made this cute little pockets. Each one of these are little pockets, and this is using some old stash that I had. Fussy cut out the Magic is Something We Make that page, and then I have these little gingerbread, and I thought they were so cute, and I do think I'm gonna force this one in kind of like this and have him hang out. I'm gonna punch the hole there, and then we can either document about our, I'm thinking like it can document about making cookies, making gingerbread house, something possibly, something to do with my kids. So maybe their advent calendar, maybe it'll be something fun about our elves and the mischief they get into. I don't exactly know what's going to happen, but I think it'll be fun. I do have the little gingerbread people in here too, to kind of play off that idea. Thinking I could, a couple options. I kind of like this one if I'm going the baking kind of candy route, and I thought either a photo or I could use one of these guys and cover. I don't love the color of their pants, so I thought I could cover up their pants with, these are the cards that I used. I cut them down to make this. So that is kind of an option, but I also pulled every transparency possible. So I pulled the candy cane one, I pulled the star one, I pulled the smaller star one, and the gold star one, so that I wanted to make it a 2-page spread. I could do that. I've given myself lots and lots and lots of options. So we will see what happens on that day. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to go on day 3. It's just there. But it was really fun. And I do think I have a process of me putting this, maybe this one together. I'm not sure if I have one for that one. I know I have a video of me putting that one together though, if you are interested in that. I have all the ornament things, including the larger ornament here, because I definitely want to talk about our ornaments this year. We went on 2 vacations this year, and so we bought some special ornaments to go for that. And we didn't really document our ornaments last year, and so I wanted to definitely make sure that gets highlighted in the album. So I just have that in here. I'm waiting a little bit. I love to see, like I said, what everyone else creates, get some inspiration, and then go from there. So I am kind of waiting to see what everyone else does with these ornaments as well. All right. Next up is going to be, I've talked about this before, but I will just mention it. My kids, I dedicate whatever their age is as that day in my album's story. And so my youngest is 5, so his is going to be day 5. And I have, his name is Barrett, but we call him Bear Bear. So I have this cute little bear, which I thought was fun. And then I grabbed the little tags, or like whatever these are, numbered circles that, you know, most people use for contents of table of contents and stuff. I never use them. I've hoarded all of them. Every time that these have been done, I think this is the 3rd year, right? I have all of them. And so I have challenged myself this year to use them. And my goal is to just use them. And so I've got them to set up, to be used, and to make the number 5 is my goal some way or another. I've got a 4 somewhere around here too. There's the 4. But yes, so this was a idea that I saw from Morgan, and I'll have it pop up. Hopefully I'm remembering to pop up all these examples. And so I'm just kind of lifting her idea. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on a transparency, have it flip open and be a photo of Barrett, or if these little ones are actually going to be photos of him. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. I just know I wanted to create the 5 and use some of these circular elements to do that. So that is one that will be dedicated. Day 5. Like I said, there's a few days, but just automatically go to whoever it is, just for my kids. I don't do it for Sean or I, because that wouldn't make sense. But there is that one. So that'll be day 5. I have a day in between my youngest and my middle. So day 6 is going to be something. I'm kind of hoping that my day 5 is going to face this way. I can flip it open, have my day 6 be a 2-page spread, and then my day 7 can be my daughter facing the other way. Although that might not work either with the ideas I have for my daughter. So I don't know what I'm hoping it'll be. I'm hoping it'll be something, but I will pull out this. I might have to move my album. It's gonna get a little hard to explain with the see-through elements, but I have these little pockets that I made for each one of my kids. I'm just going to go like this. Okay, so my goal here is to have a pocket for each one of my kids, and there's Santa letters. So it's going to go like that, and then the letters are going to slide. I'm going to take pictures of the letters and I'm going to put them on these cards that, yes, I know I cut. I'm so sorry for anyone that loves these cards and is yelling at me right now, but I need a white space, crisp white space, and this is what I've come up with. And then I've thought of a couple ideas of how to cover up that, and one of them being that if I use this as a tab, that would work. Cover it with a photo, part of the photo. I don't know. I just have some extra goodies to help me finish telling the story when I get to it. But this is my setup for talking about Santa this year. So I'm excited about that. I'll probably try to include Santa letter, or not the Santa photo as well. I do kind of group those together. So that's gonna be an idea. Maybe, like I said, day 6, maybe not. We will see. My day 7 is then my daughter, and I loved Allie's idea of using frames to make a little like see-through, and then there was the right now. So I'm gonna have my daughter fill this out. I figured this one, we're working on her handwriting this year, and so I figured this one, if she could just write one word, she'd be able to fit that. I don't love this pattern paper. I don't love the green stars. I don't know, it's just not for me. So I do think I'm gonna fussy cut these out and place them onto a different paper. But I did grab a bunch of transparencies for options, a bunch of frames for options, and I think I'm going to just mimic Ellie's idea of using the frames with the see-through element, and then using some either transparencies or whatever to fill them. So this one is completely inspired by Allie Edwards and her idea using the frames and doing that. And I just grabbed a couple different transparencies to give me options to choose which one I want to do when I get to that one, and the photo of her for that day as well. So that will be day 7. I then have some other ideas that have just kind of been hanging out. One of them is I have these little numbered, I can't speak English right now, numbered little stickers 1 through 10, and I do have these cards. I thought maybe if I did, like, again, it could be a 2-page spread, it could be 1 page, maybe with just a bunch of little photos, attach these numbers to those photos and then list what they are. Maybe day of color, that would be a good option to document my day of color for that. There's that idea. I also, last year with Pam, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it had to have been last year because that's when these frames were out, right? And everyone did the multiple frames off to the side. I loved that. I didn't get to it, and so I put the frames in here so that I will not forget that I would like to duplicate that on a lovely photo or whatever have you, and that can be included in other ideas or on its own. It doesn't really matter, but I have the frame wreaths in there for that as well. All right, next up, I will have my day 10 is going to be my oldest. He's 10, and I'm going to have him fill out the holiday interview one. I thought this would be a great option for him. I just think this is the right option. So that is going to be on his in some way, somehow. I don't know. We'll see. That's there. And then I have a bag of goodies with a few different ideas going on here. So let me pull all of these out. Again, I'm trying to use up all of these numbered pieces. I can't think of what to call these. Labels. These are labels. I'm going to document my books, the books that I read. I didn't read them. I listened to them on Audible, but I still got through more than I have ever in the last few years because I haven't had a chance to read or listen or anything. And so I'm going to go ahead and use these possibly in, Jenny Ray has a really cool book idea using these when they were out a couple years ago. And again, hopefully I've popped up that example so you can see it. But that's kind of my plan to go with this. I'm pretty sure I've read 14 books, so I might make this day 14. I don't know, but they're in there for me to do accordingly. I have, again, this was Allie's idea of using the half circles as pockets, and so I just grabbed the other tags that went along with them, and I'm going to just put them together like so. And yeah, I think that'll be really fun. I probably won't do it quite like that. It might be a little bit more like that. We'll see. But yeah, I think it's cute. I think it'll work well. It'll be an easy story for something, depending on what I need it to be. There's a few things I kind of document every year, like my kids, the last week of school, they have their spirit week. So that's an option. I have 2 kids going to a field trip doing some ice skating, so that might be fun to document them ice skating with this. But it's just in here so that I don't forget that that's an idea I'd like to do. I also grabbed this black to put them on. I thought that would look really nice together. And then I have either a transparency or the joy card or both, because I guess technically I could, I don't know, but I have a couple more of these cards. Again, these were in my stash. I've had them forever, and I was determined to use them this year. And I have just enough space that I can line these up. I will have to trim them down, but I have just enough space to have 3 of them side by side, lined up to create a little thing. So I don't know. I'm not sure it's going to happen this year, but I have it here just to remind myself that if I have a story like that, like I said, 3 kids. So a lot of times I'm like, if I have something to document each one of them, a spot for each one is a great option for me. And so I have that in there as well. This is one of the days that I did decide to give a number to. And the reason why is I picked 15 was because it opens up to 15 ideas. And I do have all the little pieces. However, I'm not going to put it together. I'm just going to pop up my example that I've already done here. This is an absolute scrap lift of someone. And of course, I'm so sorry, I can't think of your name. So that is also going to pop up. So I scrap lifted her idea. I used one of the main kit cut apart die cuts, trimmed it down, put it on one of the gold die cuts, stitched it with the colored piece of ephemera vellum in the back. I did add a little tiny bit of ribbon down at the bottom that I've stitched, which I love. And then mine is going to flip open with the little bits and pieces, and it's using the labels from this year numbered, and it's going to be numbered 1 through 15, talking about 15 cozy things. So cozy moments at home, I don't know, but I'm going to have 15 of them. And I'm hoping to have this be a full page photo. That's kind of my plan. Probably me cuddled up somewhere. We did, my husband and I got a brand new mattress and a brand new bed, like bed frame. And so I thought maybe that would be a great spot for me to have a photo of me cuddled up with that. So that's kind of my plan, and that is my designated day 15 story. I also have this December routines on it too, right? Is that the same one? I think so. I do also have this December routines, which I think will show up in that photo, so you'll have seen that. Okay, what else do I have to show you? A couple ideas. This is again a not photocopying, but reusing an idea from something I saw on Instagram. And I'm gonna use 4 of these cards like this. And then I'm gonna use the little plastic cards that are hanging out in there as well. And they're going to be placed in the other spots. And I think I've designated this to be the story of me going to that. I went to the local nursery, and I think I'm gonna make that be the mimicking of telling that with my Starbucks story in there as well, and maybe another one about just drinking coffee. I have this in here. I can use it. This might have to get saved and use next year. I'm just not sure what I'm gonna do with it. I have labeled how big these squares are for my photos and journaling, but I really love how this looks. And so I think I may hold on to this vellum piece and use it next year, but it is gonna be my kind of coffee story. So it's in there for if I change my mind, who knows. There's that story. Loose interpretation. I did grab this piece of pattern paper and this little pocket that says joy. I still have all 3 of them, so it doesn't have to be the joy one. I just kind of put it together, and it's more just an idea to remind myself to maybe do, even if this was on a photo that can flip up, just a place of rest basically is what this is reminding me of. And then I just included all 3 of the cards, again, just to remind myself I have it and use it if I so choose. Next one is another one I saw on Instagram that I'm like, this is perfect. And so I pulled this pattern paper just to remind myself to use it if I want, because I wasn't sure how to use this piece of pattern paper. And then I saw that gorgeous idea on Instagram and thought, perfect, I'm just going to scrap lift that. My day 18 is the other story that is already planned, and I'm gonna pop up the photo here too, so I don't have to take out all the pieces for you. This is going to be documenting going out for my work Christmas party. It's actually happening on the 18th, so I do not match stories to days, but when it does happen to work out, I always think that's cute. So there's that idea. I have this one, which I'm excited about. I just finished creating this, and it's just the last video on my channel. And I'm going to be using a transparency, and I made I fussy cut out the story December details card, and I made little pockets that are going to open up. They're not pockets, but they're going to open up and tell a story. And I think it's so cute, and I'm very excited to see how it actually turns out. I may be putting it out to the side with a cute 3x8 photo, and I have it to be on each side, so that will be fun too. We'll see how that all kind of goes together. I do like these little red numbers, and so this is going to either be story 13, 19, 21, 23, or 24. Probably won't be 24 because that's Christmas Eve, obviously, and I have a different idea for that, but I just kept the numbers in there just in case, because that's what I can make work. So there's that one. I did pull all the tree things so I can do the idea of cutting a tree and stitching and I might turn this into a tag. I don't know. I grabbed all the tree paper though. I don't know if I'm gonna do it out of paper or the transparency. Paper's probably gonna be easier. Cutting this transparency might be a little difficult, but I thought it would be a great way. Every year I have a photo of our tree in a painting format. And so I thought if I did that, hung the number 24 on it for Christmas Eve, it would just be a great opening into that. So kind of my idea for that. I also have that paper for a softer look, depending on what I go for. And this super cute painting my daughter did, I definitely wanted to get that included. So I thought maybe even if this was there to flip open to, and then you flipped it again and there was the photo of the tree. I don't know. It's in here though. I have to include this. I always include my kids' artwork in some way, some form. So that's in there. My Christmas Day one, I love this. There's a whole walkthrough on how I created this step by step. But they are little cards that pop open that have the December details, which is the one that Allie did with a flip up. And I just love that they're just little pockets that are going to talk about Christmas and what our Christmas looks like. I love it. I've added this Embrace the Chaos. I added the Christmas, and we're just going to go for it. These just have washi tape on them for now until I decide if I'm going to stitch them or my final decision for that. But that is going to be my Christmas Day. And then finally, I think I'm going to put this one on the back of it. Again, for my kids' artwork, I think is going to be a great home for that. And that's what I've got, guys. That is a complete walkthrough of my foundation pages. I've given myself, obviously, room to play. I never commit. I am perfectly okay with not using things and pushing them into the next year. I did that with that last pocket you saw. That was created last year. So it's just to have something to work with and play with, and a starting place for me instead of a blank slate, because I do struggle with the white page idea. All right, thanks for spending some time with me today, and I'll see you guys all in the next couple days with my first pages. I'm so excited. Happy December. Bye, everyone.